Isang araw, sobrang umiyak ako. I think I was in grade 6. Kasi, tinalo niya ako sa chess. Sobrang sama ng loob ko noon. Kasi, okay lang noon matalo ko. Kasi talaga namang chess champion siya eh. Kaya lang, ang ginawa niya, nag-blindfold siya. Pumunta siya sa sala, ako nasa kitchen, tapos kino-call out lang niya yung moves niya ng chess. Natalo pa ako. Ang sama talaga ng loob ko noon. Feeling ko, ano ba to? Naka-blindfold na, natalo pa ako. Tapos, eto pa, kaya siya matalino. Si Kuya, sobrang mag-stick sa rules. Sabi ng mami ko, one time daw, nasa elementary siya, may affair ang mga Boy Scouts sa Luneta, sa Rizal Park. Sabi niya, ewan ko, Jumingel yata siya, sabi niya kay Kuya, dito ka tatayo sa monumento ni Rizal. Hindi ka gagalaw, hindi ka aalis hanggang bumalik ako. Dito ka lang. Pagbalik ni Mami, kung saan man siya nagpunta, hala, nagkakagulo yung mga pulis. Doon sa monumento. Di syempre, kabang-kaba siya kasi ano ba nangyari? Yung pala, si Kuya, ayaw umalis. Sabi daw doon sa mga pulis, hindi. Sabi ng Mami ko, dito ako sa monumento, so hindi ako aalis. Eh, nandun yung presidente, maglilay ng brief. Oh, ano yun? Tapos, si Kuya, kaya siya matalino, marunong siyang makinig. Nung meron siyang isang napakamalaking decision na kailangan gawin, pumunta siya sa daddy at nanghingi ng advice. At sabi ni Tony Mabesa, si Kuya daw ay isang playwright na nakikinig sa direktor. Pag sinabi daw ni Tony, naku, kailangan natin i-revise tong lines kasi medyo mahirap bigkasin. Magre-revise daw siya. Nakikinig siya sa direktor, nakikinig siya sa matatanda. Ang hindi lang niya pinakikinggan, si Medi. Lalo na kapag ang subject Ani, mag-divorce na tayo. Eh, madalas yun. Yun namang bobo. Bakit naman ang kuya ko ay bobo? Mayroon akong isang album sa bahay. Lahat ng mga litrato namin, ni Medi, ni Emily, gano'n. Ang papangit. Kasi si kuya, sa feeling ko lang, suspecha ko lang, meron siyang parang time and motion sa kanyang utak. Na it only should take you this many seconds to get to the place and have the picture taken. So pag sinabi niya, sige, mix, mag-post ka dyan. Hindi pa kami nakakarating, hindi pa kami nakakaayos, click, walang bilang. So pagtingin mo sa litrato, bakit ganito? Kasi yun, napakabobo niya, hindi niya alam na kailangan, di ba, mag-aayos ka. Ito, sobra talaga. Sobrang bobo, kapatid ko. Nung nag-join ako sa kanila, I stayed with them for 1.5 years. Nag-travel ako, I think it was 26, 28 hours. So, in and out of cold airports, and in and out of cold airplanes, syempre, nagiginaw ako. Pagdating ko sa kanila, sabi ko, Kuya, nagiginaw ako. I think we have to go get a sweater. Naku, ni-lecturean ako ng 30 minutes. Kung bakit the human body is not supposed to be cold in 30 degrees. So we argued back and forth kasi giniginaw ako, wala akong pakialam sa libro. And Medi settled the whole thing and said, Darling, she's cold. Let's go get a sweater. Ewan ko kung anong mas bobo. Palagay ko itong susunod. Emily turned 1 when I was there. So, syempre, bata, she saw the candle on the cake, hinawakan niya. E di syempre, sunog, di ba? Nawa ng ano. Sabi ni Kuya, wait! Everybody stop! Freeze! Nobody move! Takbo siya sa bookshelf. Medical encyclopedia. First, BBB. Tapos yung gagawin, sabi ni Meds, Darling, Yun nga ang gagawin namin eh. Hindi ba bobo? Pero, ang kuya ko, talagang matalinong bobo. Kasi, 70 na siya, marami pa siyang hindi naiintindihan sa buhay. Marami talaga. At ang isa doon ay hindi niya magets kung bakit binibigyan siya ng parangal, binibigyan siya ng awards, respetado siya ng colleagues, mahal siya ng estudyante, hindi niya maintindihan yun. Isang gabi na pinarangalan siya, sabi lang niya, ay, nice naman, they appreciate me. Yun lang. Sinabi niya, hindi ko bobo. Tapos nagtataka siya, pag nagbabasa ng mga tao ng mga libro, nanonood ng kanyang play, isinasadula, sinuseryoso ang mga sinasabi niya. Tapos, bobo din siya kasi hindi rin niya mag-gets bakit kami ina-appreciate namin, as I'm sure kayo din, perfect attendance yan sa lahat ng mga patay. Sa burol, sa lamay, sa cremation, sa libing, nandyan yan. Pag may namatay na kaibigan ng aming magulang, since nasa Alabang siya noon, sabihin ko, kuya, pwede bang ikaw nung pumunta? Nandun siya. Minsan, hindi niya kilala, nandun siya. Perfect attendance yan. Perfect attendance yan sa mga ospital. Basta na ospital ka, sabi nga ni Frank kanina, nandyan yan. Hindi yan mamimiss. May matching check pa ng offer, which he will ask, ready to write. Tapos, hindi rin niya naiintindihan kung bakit na-appreciate ng maraming tao na laging nandyan siya para sa'yo. Pagkasama mo siya, akala mo wala siyang trabaho. Kasi nandun siya, 100%, ikaw lang for the moment. Hindi siya magte-text, sisilip lang siya sa email. Pero alam mo na habang kasama ka niya, ikaw lang talaga. Hindi niya naiintindihan na mahalaga yun sa atin. Tapos, hindi rin niya naiintindihan na I made such a big fuss over the fact na hindi siya marunong humawak ng martilyo at pako. Pero ang pasalubong niya sa akin na surprise when I went to America was a desk with drawers which he built himself. Oh, and ang kuya ko din ay matalinong bobo. Na nakita ko nung katulad ni Frank, actually pareho yung natin, nagka-cancer din ako. Tapos, one time, doon sa pinakamagaling na doktor na kapatid niya, si Diaz, si Romy Diaz. Nung pumunta kami sa doktor, nirecommend na kami ni Romy Diaz, pumunta na sa radiation, tapos na ang chemo. Nakikinig kami sa doktor, ayaw ako bigyan ng radiation ng doktor. Sabi niya, hindi, bibigyan si surgery ang gusto ko. Kasi nagpunta na sa bones, hindi na pwede. Sa kabobohan ng kuya ko, biglang tumawag siya sa kapatid ko sa Amerika. At sa pagkakaalam ko kay ate, naghagulgulan sila sa telepono kasi ang feeling niya, mamamatay na ako. Kasi nandun na yung cancer sa bone at ayaw na akong irradiation. So kumalat yung news na yun hanggang isang araw, gumising ako, nag-aaway ang dalawang pinsan ko sa Facebook. Kasi pinag-aawayan nila na hindi ako daw dapat pag-usapan na parang mamamatay na. Sabi ko, paano naman nangyari yun? Ang sabi lang naman ng doktor, hindi radiation pero surgery. Wala naman akong nadinig na mamamatay na ako. So, ang sama yung nag-aaway sa Facebook, hindi ba? So, ang ginawa ko, nag-imbestiga ako. Tinawagan ko yung ate ko, saan ba ka nanggaling itong rumor mongering na ito, na bakit mamatay na daw ako? Ay nako, kate-trace ko, alam niyo sino pala nagsabi? Kaninong bobo na yun. So, ibig sabihin, miski na medically naiintindihan niya, nagiging bobo siya kung affected na siya dahil pamilya. At siguro, higit sa lahat, na-appreciate ko ang aking matalinong bobo. Kasi, ang dami kong ina-attend na mga book launches niya, kung ano-ano parangan niya. Siyempre, ako lang ang proud sister of Isagani. Pero si Kuya, pag mag-a-attend ng aking affair, katulad ng Pasko na in-stage yung aking kantata, nandun lang siya, maingay na maingay siya, I am the proud brother of Lori. At tinape niya yung performance all of 2 hours on his cellphone for me. So, tama si Mami. Ang kuya ko ay matalinong bobo. But who cares? Kung ano ba ang mas matingkad? Yung bang matalino? O yung bobo? Who cares? 70 na ang aking kuya. Yay, kuya! Happy birthday!
The Opscans then were, we had a newsletter and we would have articles, jokes, things like that. And they were kind of serious in nature, but when this group of editors, and Kani was one of them, would be by themselves, then the jokes would get more, you may say, avant-garde. And the favorite, the one that took the cake was when they would say, Gani Cruz, he didn't have to say anything. He could just stand beside you and he would insult you. Anyway, the Opscans then, maybe now, were known for the acronym ANDG, which is Latin for Ad Maiorem Dei Gloriam, for the greater glory of God. It was Gani who coined the local version, which everybody preferred, because Opscans were known to be party goers, and we go to parties mainly to eat. So AMDG, to us then, as coined by Gani, meant ang mga demonyong gutom. Right? I think it was Gani who coined that. So speaking of being hungry, and in that state of mind, and at the same time Gani being witty, once met with a professor, I forget the name now, and he was an ex-seminarian, so presumably he knew Latin. So Gani comes up to this prof and says, "You remember Julius Caesar's famous Veni, Vidi, Vici? I came, I saw, I conquered, militant. What does Veni, Vidi, Mandocavi mean?" "Veni, Vidi, Mandocavi?" said the professor. "I don't know. Hear it." So finally Gani said, "I came, I saw, I masticated." So that really brought down the house, considering that we were on the subject of AMDG, ang mga demonyong gutom. So that's about all. It's not really a roast, it's just an anecdote. But coming back, recalling the earlier roasts that were mentioned about Gani's being so, you may say, easygoing, in contrast to the militancy of Julius Caesar's "I came, I saw, I conquered." Perhaps we should say now what Gani, "I came, I saw, I conquered." With a wife. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, so I think my daughter is supposed to read the roasts or episodes, anecdotes of the shyer ones. Luna, take it away, honey.
In no particular order. First, we have a blind item. I had the honor of being your date for a Valentine brunch. Who am I? I'm guessing it's not Mom. Oh, I see. Which year though? This one, Gani embarrasses me early on Monday mornings when he texts me little love notes saying, "Great column today," or "Loved what you wrote." Seriously and sincerely, I owe and appreciate Gani for being one of my secret boosters. Few will remember that when my first book of stories came out in 1984, Gani was the first critic to give it a positive review in Panorama. I've never forgotten that gesture, and to this day I continue to feel encouraged in my work by his brotherly support. So that's a nice one, that's not a roast. I wonder if Dad is guessing all of these. Okay, on a long road trip from Taipei to Kaohsiung, we spent the time singing. But we got really going when Isagani put on a bandana and started singing All I Want Is a Room Somewhere, and went on and on and on until he had sung the whole LP of My Fair Lady. And then he went on to the Cascades, singing all the songs from their LP. I believe that. That's my dad. Here. 1992, on a publisher's trip to China, he read my only poem, allegedly erotic, in a newly released Forbidden Fruit. Didn't know or could not tell what he thought of it. His face was expressionless. 20 years later, we published his Father Solo and Other Erotic Stories, and now I know what he means by erotic. He didn't let me read that, by the way. Excited siya maging senior citizen para ang sine niya ay libre. Ganyang ka-cheap si Isagani Cruz. That's also true. Isagani usually has impeccable English pronunciation, but one time, Philippine English pronunciation slipped in. We were having breakfast, and he excused himself by saying, "I'll have to go. I have to brush my teeth." And Sally asked, "Will it hurt?" You can guess who that is. Can I read? I have to read this for a while. Do we have other anonymous roasts that you would like to pass to me in like 5 minutes? Maybe. Okay, I'll come back. Happy birthday, Daddy.
Carpets usually make me cry. Okay, so let's enjoy the dessert. Will it be served already? And maybe we have more coming. Please do not be shy about writing very, I hate to say heart-wrenching, I hope not, but interesting anecdotes about Isagani. By the way, a week after his birthday, which is on April 29,